Development of a laboratory safety program. In this presentation, we will briefly consider how a safety program should be put in place in a healthcare facility. The learning objectives of the presentation include the components of a laboratory safety program, why do we need a safety program, how do we develop one, and the use of the PDCA cycle in developing the safety program. The concept of laboratory safety is now inbuilt into the quality management system. The safety of users. This addresses the protection of the patient's interests, whereas safety for workers deals with the working environment, personal protection, preventive measures, post-exposure prophylaxis, etc. Protection of the environment deals mainly with the safe disposal of biomedical waste. This picturizes the various safety issues that must be considered when we talk about laboratory safety. The management of hazardous materials, chemicals, biosafety, fire, radiation safety, hazardous and biomedical waste disposal, handling bloodborne pathogens, and if you're running a laboratory which has animals in it, then you have to talk about the precautions to be taken when handling animals. Risks to the healthcare worker are well documented. In spite of increasing awareness, 40 to 70% of all safety violations are not reported. The risk of getting the three common viral infections is hepatitis B virus 30%, hepatitis C virus 1 to 3%, and HIV 0.3%. The needle stick injury is the villain of laboratory safety. WHO data shows that 37.6% of hepatitis B virus, 39% of HCV, and 4.4% of HIV in healthcare workers is due to needle stick injuries. Laboratory safety addresses providing a safe work environment. It must be site specific. Labs may be unique and need safety measures according to the work being done in the laboratory. For example, radioactive substances, biosafety issues in microbiology labs, and so on. Laboratory safety involves the administrative responsibilities, the laboratory management, employee compliance and wellness, and environmental safety. The components of a laboratory safety program. First and foremost, evaluate the workplace. Perform risk assessments and conduct internal audits to identify problem areas before finding solutions. Create hazard awareness in the management, the technical and supervisory level, and worker levels. At the management level, there may be no awareness of storage of volatile chemicals or the disposal of hazardous waste, etc. They need to be made aware so that they can provide the space and funding to ensure safety. Technical and supervisory staff need to be fully aware of the hazards in the laboratory space. Finally, workers, especially the housekeeping staff, need to be taught about safety issues. Physical safety in the workplace. You need to consider how secure is the workplace especially for women staff at night? How safe are the premises? Is security provided by the administration? Is entry into the laboratory restricted? These are the hazard awareness that you need to look into. The PDCA cycle was introduced by Deming after the Second World War to rebuild Japan. It has 4 components: plan, do, check, and act. The principles of the cycle can be used to build the safety program. Plan. This mainly deals with documentation. After risk assessment and evaluating the lab's premises, you need to put in place a safety policy. Make the policy a statement to include all issues that have been identified. Draft the safety manual. Write up standard operating procedures and protocols and plan formats for documentation. Appoint a safety committee. There should be one at the management level and one at the laboratory level. The rules and responsibilities of the safety committee should be defined. At the laboratory level, daily safety audits can be performed by supervisory staff and the results documented in formats. An example of this activity would be how many staff are not wearing gloves when handling specimens. How many out of 10 observations? Are the defaulters the same people? After you have documented the lapses, you can have a root cause analysis and put in place corrective action and preventive action. The next part of the PDCA cycle is do. This is implementing what you have written down. Implement your safety policy. Now the administrative role would be giving the laboratory safe space, adequate storage facilities, provide protective gear, post-exposure prophylaxis, etc. Administration and the safety committee should review the quality indicators at regular intervals. Set the quality indicators by doing audits. How often should you do an audit? What are the quality indicators? And the frequency of the review should be put in place. Implement protocols in all aspects. Involve the staff in implementing, and the staff would include the medical, the technical, the clerical, and housekeeping. Training at regular intervals and assessment of performance for all levels of staff. Reporting and root cause analysis of all accidents. Evaluate the emergency response and institute corrective action and preventive action. Check. This is mainly the job of the laboratory administration. The safety officer and the supervisors should monitor compliance. Regular and random audits as a quality indicator of compliance should be put in place. Documentation of non-compliance, root cause analysis, and reporting of any mishap should be undertaken. Act. There should be administrative reviews to look at what's going on in the laboratory. There should be preventive action based on root cause analysis. There should be measures put in place to ensure compliance by the staff, and there should be regular training of staff, especially since there is a turnover of staff in the department. So to summarize, creating a culture of safety in the laboratories is in everyone's interest. Plan a program that is practical and simple to ensure that everyone follows the guidelines. Check and monitor regularly and document non-conformity. Root cause analysis of all untoward events should be done, and set in place preventive measures and follow-up. Have a laboratory safety plan in place. Do not get caught unprepared. Thank you.